Classifying typefaces by historical period. Historical categories that are commonly used to include old style, transitional and modern. Old style typefaces. The term old style generally refers to the Roman types that were designed in Italy in the late 15th and early 16th centuries, and those that have since followed their style. Old style faces continue to be the most popular typefaces for setting text. The principal feature of old style types are the slight contrast between thickness and thin strokes of the characters. Transitional typefaces. As the name implies, transitional typefaces represent an intermediary phase of a design trend away from the old style type aesthetics to a newer, more modern look. The change began to take place at the end of the 17th century. Like the old style faces, transitional faces, although far more limited in number, are still very popular for books, journal and magazine work. Baskerville is an example of for traditional typeface. Modern typefaces. A typeface based on 18th century models that feature high contrast between stroke weights, unbracketed hairline serifs set at right angles and at vertical stress. Examples are the many typefaces called Bedowny. What is in a font? A font contains all the information needed to position and image the characters that it represents. Here we are concerned with what is in a font and what it means to you as you set type. The most important constituents of a font are the character outlines themselves. The entire collection of characters in a font is called its character set. Font formats. The word format has two meanings in computer type. First, it can refer to the platform for which the font was designed. For example, two fonts with the same data for the same typeface may have different file formats depending on whether they are designed for use on an Apple Macintosh or a Windows PC. Another kind of font format reflects how the typographic information itself is described and organized. Two basic kinds of fonts, outline and bitmapped. Digital devices, computer monitors, screens, desktop printers, image setters create images out of dots. The simplest way to create type for one of these devices is to draw a picture of every character as an array of dots and store these drawings in a font. Then all the device has to do to image the type is to copy those dots into place on the screen or page. Images are created from these pre-drawn, pre-arranged arrays of dots were called bitmaps. The fonts using this trick were called bitmapped fonts. Screen fonts, fonts designed especially for a display screen, are also called bitmapped fonts. The more dots bitmaps contain, the more computer data it requires. As the resolution of the device increases or the size of the character images increases, the number of dots grows geometrically. Outline fonts. The concept of outline font is unique to computer based typesetting. In the world of computer setting, an outline font is a master font that is stored as a mathematical outline made of curves and control points. Outline fonts are resolution independent. The outlines contain the information necessary to render the subtle curves, strokes and line weight variations that make up the characters of a typeface. There are two basic types of outline fonts, true type and postscript. Postscript fonts. Postscript fonts are written in the postscript page description language and they need to be processed by a postscript interpreter before they can be imaged. Postscript fonts are mostly accompanied by a set of bitmapped fonts for screen display. PostScript fonts are smooth, detailed and of high quality. They are often used for printing, especially professional quality printing such as books or magazines. PostScript fonts are called outline fonts because the outline of each character is defined. They are also called scalable fonts because their size can be changed with PostScript commands. Given a single typeface definition, a PostScript printer can thus produce a multitude of fonts. Outline fonts have the added advantage that they make the most of an output device's resolution. The more resolution or printer or monitor offers, the better an outline font will look. TrueType fonts. TrueType is a standard for digital type fonts that was developed by Apple Computer and subsequently licensed to Microsoft Corporation. Each company has made independent extensions of the TrueType, which is used in both Windows and Macintosh operating systems. Like Type 1, the TrueType format is available for development of new fonts. TrueType fonts can be scaled to any size and are clear and readable in all sizes. They can be sent to any printer or other output device that is supported by Windows. TrueType fonts are still platform specific, and a TrueType font created for use on a Macintosh will not work on a Windows PC and vice versa. TrueType fonts are still included as a part of major operating systems, but most independent digital font foundries have shifted to OpenType because it allows a single font file to work under multiple operating systems. OpenType fonts. OpenType is a hybrid font format created by Adobe and Microsoft. It reconciles the differences in the PostScript and TrueType formats, allowing them to exist together in a single file. OpenType fonts are also written in a file format that allows the same font file to be used on either a Macintosh or a Windows PC. An OpenType font can contain TrueType font data, PostScript font data or both. Thus, it has the potential to combine the best of both formats in a transparent way. Until the advent of the OpenType font format, PostScript fonts were the standard of the publishing industry. Today, the PostScript format has been completely overtaken by OpenType, and most type vendors including Adobe have converted their entire libraries of PostScript fonts into OpenType format. Web fonts and web safe fonts. The term web font does not refer to a specific font format, but to fonts that have been extensively suggested for optimum legibility when displayed on computer screens and other electronic devices. Web fonts are also understood to be those that exist on web servers for real time use for imaging online documents. Web fonts are not pre-installed on the user's system. The fonts are downloaded by the user's browser while rendering the web page and then applied to your text. Unlike web fonts, web safe fonts are pre-installed by many operating systems. If a font does not exist on a reader's computer, the web browser automatically displays the default font set in his web browser options.